Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. So we are back, y'all. We are back. It has been 2 weeks since I posted, but we are back, and we are back today with a garden tour, early spring garden tour. Not much going on out here, but I want y'all to see what it looks like because in about a week or two, she's gonna help me. She's playing with that gross. Y'all, tell her go in the house. Just tell her going on in the house because we're not doing this today.
No, but it's just like tickled.
Anyway, so we are going to do a quick garden tour of what we have going out because like I was about to say, in about 2 weeks or so, we're going to be planting out. She's helping me because she owe me money. So she's going to be helping me plant out. We have the seedlings out here in the garden. They are hardening off. And when I say hardening off, if you've been here for a while, that just means I set them out here in this garden and they're gonna go through the weather and whatever. They've been in the greenhouse though, and the greenhouse has been open for a week. Like I did not come out here at night and close it. So they got all of the temperature, or most of the temperature, out in the greenhouse. So they're pretty much ready. Now they're gonna get used to all the wind and the rain, and then in a week or so, we're gonna be ready to plant out, y'all. So we are gonna start in the orchard area. My neighbor's dog. We're gonna start in the orchard area because, like, you know, once it gets like really big and bushy, we don't go in there that much. So we're gonna go ahead and start in the orchard area today so that you can see like what the orchard looks like in the beginning of the season, and then when we're looking at it from the outside looking in the summer, you'll remember what it looked like in spring. So when you first come into the orchard, this is echinacea. Planted probably like 2 years ago, I don't know, but it is coming back, but it's very close to this Shasta daisy. That's the Shasta daisy over there too. Shasta daisy is gonna get huge, but so is the echinacea. So this is gonna be a space. This space over here, I'm gonna barely be able to get through. Like that's the walkway, but it's not really gonna be here come summer. So I'll be pushing my body through it. But at any rate, that's what you come into the orchard with. And I also put some foxgloves over here. So that's a bunch of foxgloves. Some of it is weeds. And then down there is strawberries. There was one tiny strawberry plant over there and it just kind of took over. So this is gonna be a wild little area by the time we get to summer. So I never got around to trimming down the rose bushes, and they've already started to grow. So this year, I staked this one because it kept trying to fall over here. And so I staked that, and we're just gonna let those go this summer. And next year, I will make sure that I trim them down. But this is another one, and we have like so many beautiful flowers, and then so many beautiful buds. There's just a lot going on that bush, but I think that it is a beautiful little bush. And then like I said, all of the strawberries are down here. This is where I had a lavender. Lavender does not like the soil to be super wet, and so right over here the water just kind of pools, and so I do assume that that's why that lavender did not make it. Oh, I know what I meant to show y'all because I haven't been here for a while. Broke Farmer, thank you so very much. He sent me a fig tree, and I don't know if everybody remembers how long I've been saying I want a fig tree. I was over on one of his lives with So Good Gardening, and I mentioned, they were talking about figs, and I was like, I want a fig so bad. And then one day, this showed up at my house. I was so excited. So I put it into the ground probably a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks. And it looks amazing. I'm so excited. Right beside that fig tree is oregano. And this is a weed, but this oregano is gonna be huge. This one is taking a little longer to come back than it did last year, but you can see it's coming. The middle maybe died out, but oregano spread, so I'm okay with that. The comfrey is looking beautiful. The sage beside it is slowly coming back, but that's coming back, so that'll cover this tree. And then the thyme is getting better and better with time. It's getting so much better with time. This was the tiniest little bush, and every year it grows more and more. So excited about that. And then right beside that is another comfrey, but it definitely gets bullied by this oregano. And I watered this morning, which is why that portion of the oregano is laying down. But look how big that oregano bush is. I've been cutting off of this side to give it to the chickens, but also to help get this tree collard some sun. But yeah, this oregano bush is huge, and I need to go ahead and trim it, and then, you know, it'll grow again. So pretty excited about that. My rosemary is starting to get huge, thank goodness. Starting to get its bearings, so I'm pretty excited about that. Can y'all see how big that rosemary is? That's a tree collard back there. This is another tree collard, and this is a tree collard here. I got those tree collard seeds from Project Tree Collard over on Instagram. She sent them to me, and I was really excited because I really do want to grow tree collards. They grow like all year long. I'm so excited about those. So we're gonna grow us some tree collards, and they get huge and just keep growing and growing and growing. And I'm not sure if they go to seed easily or not. There's a bug on my hand. Go to seed easily or not, I don't know, but OMG, love them. I cannot wait to grow them. I watch her on her channel, over on Instagram, not channel. I don't think she has a channel. Anywho, I watch her post over on Instagram, and I have wanted them, and then she reached out, and I was like, absolutely. So beside the tree collards is just like a bunch of lavender. I put this in last year, and so it's just getting its footing, starting to grow. But I want this whole little section over here to be lavender. And if y'all remember, I asked y'all, what do you think this is when it was much smaller? And I didn't pull it because I was like, I don't think that's a weed. It is actually mugwort. I used my Apple Pictures thing, and it told me it was mugwort. I was like, that makes sense. I did try mugwort last year, and I didn't think that it grew. I couldn't remember it growing, but that's what it is. It's mugwort. So what else is on the bottom of the orchard? Because we haven't even gotten to the top. A lot more comfrey is down here. I have a lot of comfrey under the grape bush. So yeah, we got comfrey for days. We are using comfrey around here for fertilizer. And then another little thing that's under here is the larger sage bush. So pretty excited about that. We're getting a lot of sage, and the comfrey has already started to flower. So very pretty to me. So it is drizzling. I'm gonna give it a few minutes, and then I will be back, and we will finish the tour of the orchard. Okay, so we're back, and it has stopped raining. We are going to finish the orchard tour really quick, and then we're gonna get into the garden, into the seedlings. I'm gonna show y'all the little baby chickens. The one that I told you all had gotten sick, she did pass, so she is gone. We are down to our 6 chickens now. I feel like, it happens on the homestead. It's a part of homesteading, and so she is gone. We are down to 6 chickens now. So now walking back into the garden, looking into the orchard, looking at the top part, all of the trees that we have so many peaches. There are peaches everywhere on this tree. I mean peaches, and more peaches. On this tree. So pretty excited about that. Same thing over here on this tree. Not as many leaves, but still a lot of peaches. Some of those peaches are going to fall. This tree cannot support all of these peaches, but at the same time, I'm happy that we are getting any, and that at some point this year we'll be eating fresh peaches. This is the apple tree, one of the apple trees. I did see flowers right here, so I don't know if we're gonna get apples, but those are the only ones I saw. But the tree itself looks good right now. If you've been here for a while, I think it's rust on these trees. I don't do anything about it. I just kind of let nature do its thing. And I feel eventually I am gonna get an apple from one of these trees, but I have not yet. The other tree is over here. That's the other apple tree. I probably should have cut it a little more when I trimmed, because it's pretty tall. I don't want them to be that tall. So when I trim the next time, I will do a pretty strong trimming. But it looks really good. And then, of course, you got that crazy grapevine. That grapevine that's holding on to everything, running up everything. But it looks really good. And we have little grape clusters, if you can see them. Let me see. Yep, got little grape clusters. So we'll see what happens. Some more right there. We'll see what happens this year. So we're leaving the orchard area, but just for like, this is what it already looks like in spring. Like, OMG. That's gonna be wild this summer. And it gets wilder and wilder every summer. Like, I'm not even joking, y'all. It just get bigger and bigger and more every summer. But I still do love it. I want it to be a wild spot. I just don't normally go in it after that. And actually, I do go in it. I just don't go through it in garden tours. I go through it to, like, you know, get herbs and pick the fruit and things like that. But like garden tours, it's just a lot to try to move through. All right, so let's talk about the peas that I think I planted sometime in March because I was a little late. Last year, I think that I started these in February, or at least got them planted in the ground in like February. And so this time last year, I was eating these. I do have a pod or two trying to grow, but you know, I will just plant the things that go on this a little bit later. So I probably won't plant them out in first few weeks of May until I can get a few harvest off of these. But then after that, we'll pull those out and go ahead and plant what we were planning to plant here, which I think on my chart, this is supposed to be melons this year, which normally I put my melons over there, that trellis. But this year I'm going to put them over here and see if I get a different production out of them. And so the asparagus isn't looking nearly as bushy as normal. And you want to know why? It's because I've been making sure that I harvest. But you can see the skinnier ones, I'm just letting them grow. But the larger ones, like that one, I'll probably harvest that sometime tomorrow because they grow really fast. And I want to eat my asparagus this year. Like, I don't want them to all go to fern. The ones that have gone to fern are just the skinnier ones. So I didn't harvest them because I want them to grow, get some more energy to the crown so I can get larger ones. And I don't want to kind of stifle the plant. I'm not sure if that's a thing or not, but I only pick the larger ones. So here we are, over to another garden bed, like the first garden bed when you walk in. This is the Swiss chard. I think that this one is probably about to go to seed because it's getting really tall. The rest of them look like they're doing pretty well. There are lettuce down here. This is a volunteer snapdragon because if you remember, there was snapdragons in this whole little spot last year. And we got a volunteer one, which is going to be beautiful. And then there's more lettuce. If you remember when I opened up the winter sowing jugs, there was lettuce all in them. And so when I pulled them out, that's where I put them. And so I put them all right here because we already had things growing. And I was like, well, I'll just put those there. And because I want my garden to be like overly, like densely planted this year, I'm starting in this space right here. And so we have, this is a pansy that I put in the fall. And then behind it are some leeks that we put in not too long ago. And they're looking good. I think we planted those together. But that little spot looks so pretty to me. And then down the line in the holes, those are the smallest garlics that I had in most cases. So they're not looking good at all. But we might get some little garlic at the bottom of them. Whatever we get, we're probably going to make it into powder because they're not going to be very big. At the back, there are more leeks. I planted quite a few leeks back here. And there also are some more tree collards. And now these collards are getting a little bit of pest pressure, pest damage, but the middle leaves, as I always say, look fine. So we're gonna leave them and let them grow. But they grow all through summer, so I don't think that this is the worst we're gonna see them. because brassicas get eaten up in the hot weather. They also bolt or go to flower. So I'm very interested to see how these will grow. It's my first year ever growing tree collards, like I said. So very interested to see how they'll grow, to see, you know, how they progress. Right now, they are getting eaten up a little bit. I've seen some white flies, and so, you know, it's a part of gardening out, you know, in nature, and I let nature do its thing. So I just don't get too bent out of sorts about it. I want to see what's going to happen without my like chemical or even natural intervention. And so our next bed is the block bed, which also has, this is a mix of onions and garlic in the holes of the bricks. So I just did whatever I had left. And so that one has onions and garlic in it. I also put some lettuce in with a onion just to see what would happen. So I have like 3 that has a lettuce and an onion plant. So we'll see what happens. At the front of this bed, there are onions as well. Mixed in over here, I believe these are more leeks. I think all the onions are around the sides. We are getting some volunteers, and like that's a volunteer sunflower. I am going to move that soon. I want that sunflower somewhere else in my garden. And then we still have 1 pansy left. This is a volunteer sunflower too. Funny thing, in this bag, the sunflower volunteered and so did potatoes. So we're going to pull that sunflower out of there. That's another bag that potatoes volunteered in. And then back here, we have ranunculus. I think I planted it out too late. It's very small, very stunted. Did not get any flowers yet. I'm leaving it to see. Once it gets warm, I'll pull the corum, I think is what it's called, and keep it for next year. These are some beets that aren't growing beets, but I just left them to see what would happen. But, well, they're growing little tiny beets. But I'm going to leave them. Y'all see that? There's some beets trying to grow in there. So we'll see. They might be woody. That is a huge weed I need to pull. That's another volunteer sunflower that we're going to move. We got a few volunteer sunflowers in this bed. And then back here is where I planted out the kale recently in the last month or so. So we have some Lacianato kale. We have some red Russian kale. We have just some curly kale here. This is cilantro. Love cilantro. Like, I really love cilantro. I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it. I get like a really yummy taste from it, and I absolutely love it. Behind those kale, it is a snapdragon. So I put a small snapdragon in here. There's actually a snapdragon over there behind the tree collards too. With the flowers, I sometimes try to mirror them. Actually, these 2 beds in general, I tried to mirror them. I didn't do that this year. I'm doing something totally different. These beds are gonna look totally different and hopefully be very densely planted. Over here, I put more foxgloves. So there's one over there, one right here. In between this, that's where we're gonna put the roselle. Because the roselle did really good over here last year. Plus, I could leave them for a very long time because in the fall, I really don't, I plant this bed out, but it's if I have extras in most cases. So I can leave them and I'm not gonna need the space to grow anything else until I have extras. Down here, right under the trellis, we have some calendula, and that one is actually trying to send out a flower. See it right there? So these are the calendula that I planted. There are onions in front of these calendula and more onions right here. We have another ranunculus. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I put them out too early. And then we have 2 more foxgloves as well. Right beside that bed is the other Vigo garden bed that has settled again. So I have to, you know, add more to it probably by the time we plant for fall. But we have a volunteer sunflower in there, and we're gonna leave that because I'm fine to have that in this bed. Really don't even know what I'm gonna use this bed for yet. This is one of the sticky pieces. Someone said it may be raspberries, but I'm definitely gonna cut it because I do not want it. They grow crazy over here, and I just cut them all year long, like whatever they are. I don't know if they're raspberries or what they are. They go crazy on this side of the yard, and I just cut them and keep it moving. So the potatoes look amazing. Like all of these, I think this is 15 or 16 bags right now. They look amazing. And I planted these out not too long ago too, sometime in March, I think. And so all of these are potatoes all the way down that line. I am super excited for those potatoes. Like digging up potatoes is like one of the things I really love doing. One of the things I really love to harvest. This hair keeps getting stuck in my earring. By the way, I do love it. I got it done yesterday and OMG, I posted the reel from the girl who did my hair yesterday. It is so pretty and it was such a good experience. Y'all do not care about that. Anyway, I really love digging potatoes. And last year, I only did like 7 bags. And so we ran out of potatoes, I want to say like sometime in December. And I want to have potatoes that will bring me right up into the next time that I plant potatoes. So that's why I did so many bags. And then I had essentially 4 bags because one of the ones I just showed you was a volunteer. Have 3 more that have volunteers and we are keeping all of them. So now we are over into the bed where everything, all the brassicas have pretty much bolted and they are flowering. I am not keeping seeds for all of these. I'm keeping seeds for that purple one down there. That's about it. The rest, I'm just letting the wildlife enjoy until I get around to needing to pull it. We still have some really pretty lettuce down here though, and this lettuce is not bitter. The lettuce that I planted last fall, I think it might have been Marvel of 4 Seasons, I'm not sure. It was horribly bitter. It was behind the Swiss chard, but I've started pulling it each day and giving it to the chickens so that I can clear the bed but not be wasteful. Although, could put it in the compost pile if I would do the compost pile. But anyway, this red lettuce, which I think it was just like a red romaine. I got it from my local feed and seed store. It is not bitter at all. And I've just been kind of eating a piece to see if it's bitter. So we're probably going to be having salads all week. Because there's more over here in this bed. And this bed is pretty much cleared. We have that one collard that's at seed. But you want to see something that I've never had happen before? I don't know if these are shallots or onions, but I've never had my onions or my alliums go to seed. So I'm pretty excited to see these flower and get to save some of the seeds. And we have some right there. We have some right there too. There's one over there. This one right here, which is definitely an onion, is also starting to flower. Like I said, I've never had my onions flower before. Those were like left from last year and maybe like they had fallen or something. I didn't even know for the ones that's over here. And the one over there, I guess maybe had died back and I didn't realize it. But so yeah, I'll get some kind of seeds off of them. One is red for sure, so I'm pretty sure it's a red onion or it's a shallot. Either way, we'll plant it again and we'll find out exactly what it is. So look, all the seedlings are out here. These are pepper seedlings. We have tomato seedlings, and so I watered, and I guess the water hit them pretty hard, and that's why those were falling over, but it's fine. They'll be fine. I need to pour some of the water. I watered, and then it rained, so probably wasn't a good idea to water this morning, but rain was not in the forecast. And tomorrow is supposed to be pretty warm, so the sun will come out, and they will start to stand back up. I have no thoughts that they're going to just like die or anything. They'll be just fine. And then the basil was getting eaten up really bad in the greenhouse. If you can see, it was getting eaten up really bad in the greenhouse. So I'm probably gonna get those planted out later on today because yeah, they look pretty bad. Roselle right here looking good. This one little moringa looked terrible, but we have some more over here. So one moringa tree grew a lot for me the one time I have grown them. So if I can just get one of those moringas to live, I'm fine with that. All right, let's see. We have some nasturtiums here. We have some marigolds, some zinnias, marshmallow. We got a lot of marshmallow in that one tray. But yeah, everything's looking really good. Down here we have some more seeds. A lot of my herbs did come up, so that's like stinging nettle right there, lemongrass, St. John's wort. Pretty excited about that. This is plantain. true hyssop, some wormwood. I'm very happy. Lovage came up. It's over there. Gomphrena. No, we didn't get Gomphrena. Scabiosa, Thai blue butterfly, dahlias, amaranth. We only got one amaranth plant, but I'm happy with that. But yeah, so I don't know what that is that's growing a flower in here. What is this? This is oh, verbena. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that in the ground today too. When I put the basil down. But that's beautiful. Some more tomatoes over here. This is holy basil. Some more basil back there, and then some more tomato plants. So we're very much getting close to spring planting, and I'm excited about that. And I'm also excited that I didn't have to do a lot of potting up this year, and that was my whole plan. I'm not doing a bunch of potting up. All right, over here we got a bunch more of the brassicas that have gone to seed, which again, we're just gonna pull those out when it's time to start planting because I'm not saving those seeds. Actually, I take that back. These are the cabbage collards, so I am gonna save seed from those two. And then looky here. So many strawberry flowers. They're everywhere. Strawberry flowers everywhere. I'm so excited because we will be having strawberries soon. I'm sure of that. But they're everywhere. And I know someone asked me last year somebody asked me to show them how I start my strawberries from a old strawberry and grow them into plants. So I will make sure that I do that this year for everybody. But right now, we had thinned this out very, very much. Look how full it's gotten already. Like when spring comes, everything changes. Y'all, this garlic, we do this every year, don't we? We do this every year where this garlic starts to do this on me. And then eventually it's gonna split the bulbs. I do not know what I'm doing wrong, which is okay because I'm gonna keep trying. I do think, while I don't know exactly, I really do think I'm watering too much because I know normally when things split, either you left them too long, which I know is not the case with this garlic because garlic doesn't come out until like June or July. I think that I'm watering them too much, and so I use a sprinkler this year. They're over here with other things, and so I think that I overwatered them, which is fine. I still got to make garlic powder last year, and it was amazing. So whatever I get out of this bed is more than likely going to be powder, and then next year we're going to try again. So right beside the garlic bed is the lemon balm, which grows back super quickly when it finally starts to warm up. So that's lemon balm that we probably want to go ahead and harvest so it can grow some more. We have more comfrey over here too. Oh goodness, y'all, the blueberries. All the blueberry plants are just packed with blueberries all down the line. Look at this. I'm so excited. I got to get them covered. I'm gonna look at that cluster of blueberries. That's crazy. These are a smaller variety and they take longer to ripen, so they'll ripen after these. But I mean, just a bunch. And I can't remember the name of this, but somebody told me that it spreads, and it is spreading. I'm gonna cut it down, cut it back. I'll probably even pull it and move it maybe, because I think it's beautiful. But oh my goodness, it's spreading. This was a tiny little plant and it's everywhere now. I mean, it was a tiny little plant when I put it in, and I don't want it to choke out my blueberries. But look at this blueberry bush. We don't even have leaves, but we have blueberries galore on it. But this is one that ripens a little later in the year too. And there's another one that's full of clusters right here. I mean, just full. And this one too, just full of blueberries. I love it. And if you remember, the birds normally get to my blueberries long before I do, and that's why I said I gotta get them covered. Oh, y'all remember the one that we moved? Look at that. Did not miss a beat. Like, it did not miss a beat. It's like blueberries everywhere, and we moved this. You see, the plant is getting huge too. Let me step back a little bit. Can y'all see? When those leaves fill that up, that's gonna be a nice sized blueberry bush. And my original plan for the blueberries was to like cut them and keep them small. I don't know that that's like a thing anymore because they're not huge and bushy. And so everything else is still getting light. So we're gonna, I've only really, I think, chopped them a little bit once. Other than that, I haven't, and they seem to be doing well. So we're gonna see what we could do. But okay, I want to show y'all my chamomile. Y'all know I love chamomile, right? And I just got this planted out not too long ago. This one is already starting to try to flower. There is a little bit of shade on this side of the garden, so I moved them to the front because, y'all, this hyssop, good gracious, came back with a vengeance. It smells like licorice, but it came back with a vengeance. So it's pretty big. The feverfew, like I said, that never even died. Like, it never died, stayed green. Sooner or later, we're going to have a bunch of flowers on it. The marshmallow has already started to come back. This is like all perennial, really, except for the chamomile. It will self-seed, the one that I have, but it's not really perennial. If the flowers drop, then it'll come back. But it doesn't just come back from the roots. It just doesn't. And I need to look up which one I have because I thought one of them was supposed to be perennial. I don't know, y'all. And then the mint that's left, I lost one more mint this year, but I refuse to put it into the ground because it's going to spread. But the mint that's left is also coming back beautifully. And the last thing is the flower bed. And we know normally I'm like, I don't even want to talk about this flower bed. But right now the flower bed is looking good. It's mostly pansies. But I also took like the dill. There's a bunch of different herbs because remember we're turning this into a herb bed mixed in with flowers this year. So I did put a good amount of herbs in here that came out of the winter sowing jugs. But let me show you. Also the hollyhock came back. It's got something though. It's got something, I don't know what it is. It looks like some kind of rust, but I ain't doing nothing to it. So all of the pansies are still here from the fall. So they're still growing, but we got dill back here that I've planted. There are some snapdragons back here. That is a weed. That's the hollyhock. See what I mean when I say it's got something? It's probably rust. I really don't know what it is, but we're not going to worry about it because it's also about to give us some beautiful hollyhock flowers. And who can complain about that? Just because the plant doesn't look good does not mean it's not going to produce, i.e. like, you know, my eggplant. Never. They never look good, but they most always produce. And so I don't worry about it. And oh my goodness, the foxglove. It's only one this year. The other one died, and so I pulled it, but it's just looking beautiful already. It's looking so pretty already. I cannot wait. When it's time to plant behind them, probably going to cut the stalks down and they'll grow more stalks just so it doesn't shade anything else. But they're just beautiful, aren't they? I love them. Down here, we still have some pansies, but I've put some calendula in. There's some dill back there. I'm not really sure what that is. There's another hollyhock that I planted. So we got a few things going on. Oh, and the sedum. I didn't pull this one because it just seemed like it was in a great place. And it is pretty over there. I just didn't like it for the actual garden beds. Didn't think it really fit in. Oh, wait. I forgot to show you the girls. Of which one of them is still laying on the ground. It's the little gray one. Probably because her sister is gone. But no, she was doing it before her sister was gone. My what do you call it? My Zoom, or not my Zoom, my Spot, whatever, is acting crazy. But let me show you the girls. Can't get in here. It's settling. Hold, please. It's settling, and so sometimes it's hard to get in here, especially with one hand. Got it. Come on. Let's go say hey to the girls. Hey, y'all, hey. Get back. So everybody's doing well in here. Let's see. Are y'all waiting for a treat? So everybody's doing good. I'm gonna go ahead and give them some treats because that's what they always wait for, treats. That's where they're going to. Wow. The little Americana is crazy. Did y'all see her jump on her back? Like, why would you do that? But there go the girls. There goes that egg that has been laid on the ground. But still clean because it's pretty dry in their run area, which is a plus. We absolutely need to, oh my goodness. Look at all those eggs, y'all. I gotta go get a basket. We need to clean in there too, because it's pretty gross. Mama, can you go get me a basket? So we need to clean the coop area for sure. Like, that needs to be clean, because I'm sure you saw that big thing of poop on one of them eggs. It's gonna be gross. But yeah, we need to clean the coop. Let me show you the greenhouse. Pretty much everything is out of here. I did plant some nasturtiums in here, so those are growing. We're gonna get this planted out soon too. Thing is, I didn't plant it, so I don't even know what's gonna go in it, but I do have extras of things that I do need to plant, so they're gonna go in here. But I'm just gonna show you. Our beds are looking good, and clearly the soil is decent, because well, not really, because nasturtiums don't need super fertile soil, but it's decent enough, because we do have nasturtiums growing. We went ahead and got this bed together. I didn't put anything in it, like I think I said I was going to maybe do perlite or vermiculite. I can't remember, but what I am going to do is add some more garden bed soil in it, raised bed soil. That's the garden beds inside of the greenhouse right now. I cannot wait for this to just be growing all the things. So that's the garden tour. Short but sweet, because we are in spring, early spring. I have not started planting out. I am in zone 7B in Virginia. I garden in raised beds, in ground, no dig, pots, bags, and whatever I can garden in. And so, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in the garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.